yata dehantara praptir dhiras tatra na muhyati. So Krishna is assuring here. Whoever understands this simple fact, he can cross over all the miseries, all the dukkha in the life. What is that fact? The fact is, we are not the body, we are spirit soul. Simple fact, but very, very profound, strong, wonderful, serious statement. We are not the bodies, we are spirit souls. Dehinosmin yata dehe. Dehi keeps changing the deha. The spirit soul, it keeps changing the deha. Just like we changed our bodies from childhood to boyhood, boyhood to old age, similarly at the time of death, we change our old body, we give up the old body, we take a new body. Having understood this fact, Dhiras, an intelligent, sober man, he never gets deluded. He never gets bewildered. He never gets confused. He never cries. He never gets into miserable situation. Just understand this fact. When we were children's, even children's now, when they get small cut in their finger, they start crying. Oh, they start crying, you know. When they're walking, if they get hurt on the finger, on the leg, they start crying. Somebody pinches them, they cry. They get into small things, they cry very loudly. Very loudly. Sometimes you will see children, they cry so much seriously, tears comes in their eyes, so seriously they are crying. After a few minutes, all of a sudden, they stop crying. You must have seen children. You must have experienced also in childhood. But when we grow in age, when we become little elders, when boys, girls, grown-up boys, grown-up kids, then even though there is a cut in the finger, we tolerate. Why we tolerate? Why we don't cry that much as we were crying in the childhood? In childhood, when we are feeling hungry, we start crying. But when we grow up a little bit, we can tolerate a little bit hungry, right? We can sahan sakte hain. Why? Anybody can say?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhu, in childhood, we want immediately the things which are what we decide, Prabhu. Like we don't think about the social conditions or social norms around us, about the values or like that. But when
So why we are not crying? Yeah.
about the morals, we think about the morals, values, and we will wait for the things what are the needed, like how we have to get them. Like we follow some values and norms.
Okay.
when we get
Okay.
elder.
Thank you, Banusri. Some more responses. In childhood, we start crying for simple things, petty things. But when we grow up, we don't cry for the same things again. Why? We can tolerate little bit when we have a cut in the finger. Yes?
Because of our understanding.
Yeah, what understanding? What is that understanding?
Understanding is that we develop the power to tolerate, and we understand that these problems are very small, not worthy of crying.
Okay, good. These problems are very small, they are not worthy crying. In childhood, we didn't know that these are worthy of crying. Yes. Previous shloka, Krishna said it to Arjun. Hey, natvevaham jatunasham natvam neme janadipa nacheva na bhavishyama. Why you are crying for this body? Natvam sochiti marhasi. Yes. Some more reasons. Yes, this is understanding, you know. This understanding we got. We got this awareness that this cut, it will get cured in some time. This is understanding we got. When we get a cut, we understand, okay, this cut is going to cure in some time. We don't cry. Even though there is a pain, we don't cry. But unfortunately, we cry, we cry something else for something else. When we look back into our lives after growing up for certain age, certain awareness, when we look back and see for what we have cried, we laugh at our own things. I always said this. In my farewell party of my college days, final year, I literally cried for my friends. I'm leaving my roommates, classmates. Hare, dost mera dost. No, I was just feeling separation from them. I was literally crying. But after passing out from the college, when I was doing job, when I was, into Krishna consciousness, I tried contacting them many times. But they are not that much eager as I'm eager to speak to them. Everybody is busy in their lives. Nobody is bothered about no one. Everybody is bothered about their own life, their own career. So I was just imagining, did I cry for these people? Did I cry for these guys? So when I look back myself, I laugh at that. Now I laugh at my cry. So because we got this awareness that this is going to get cured. In Bachpan mein, we were, when there is a darkness, we were fearing, We were a lot of fearful. When there is a darkness, pitch dark in the house, when the current goes off, then we used to hold our parents. But now we don't do that, right? Now we don't do that. Why? We got a clear-cut understanding and awareness, experience also, that this night is going to pass and sun is going to rise, the light is going to come. We got this awareness. That's why we don't cry. We don't cry, right? For darkness, pitch dark, we don't cry. We have a clear understanding that, this is for some hours, this is just few hours. Again, sun is going to rise. So in the life, similarly in the life, all this dukkha, all the miseries are going to come. I'm not saying it will not come. It is going to come. But we should know for what we should cry, what we should not cry for. Definitely we are going to face the dukkha. But we should understand, after dukkha, there is a sukha. Similarly, sukha is also temporary. Dukkha is temporary. Sukha is also temporary. We should not be overwhelmed. Sukha is also temporary. After sukha, there will be dukkha. So this whole life, we are continuously tossed around by sukha and dukkha. That's why we should not anudvega. It is said, in the dukkha, we should not be morose. In the sukha, we should not be overwhelmed. We should have an equilibrium. We should be composed. We should be samadrishti. Yes. And there is one shloka in the Bhagavad Gita, the same Bhagavad Gita, it says, Krishna says, okay, I'm not getting it. So, we should learn this, understand this fact. When we have this proper awareness, then we will not be bothered about sukha and dukkha. We will become dhira. We will become dhira, the sober man. In the same way, Krishna is telling Arjuna, this body is going to die. This body is going to perish. It is going to get destroyed. And after this body, there is a new body is going to come. Why you are crying for this, losing this body? There is a new body is going to come. Yes. Just like Kaumara Macharat, Kaumara Yavvanam Jara, Tata Dehantara Prapti. After the death, we are going to get a new body. So sober man, intelligent man, he doesn't cry. See, when our close relatives, we must have seen deaths of our close relatives, people dying in front of us. We cry because we don't understand this simple fact. Even though we heard many times, we don't understand it. Even though after understanding it, we have not experienced it. Still, we cry. At least there will be pain in the heart, definitely. But we should rise above it. So I will just quote interesting story about Janaka Maharaj. Janaka Maharaj is a Sthapragya, self-realized personality. He understands he is not the body, his spirit soul. He realized it. So one time, Yajnavalkya, he's a teacher. So he was coming to every day to the kingdom and he was teaching some students. Some Brahmana students were there. And then the son of Nimi Chakravarti, Janaka boy, Janaka boy, in his childhood, Janaka, he was coming and hearing the classes of Guru, Yajnavalkya. So Yajnavalkya was teaching a lot of lessons for all of these people. But sometimes the king's son, Nimi Chakravarti's son, Janaka, he was becoming sometimes little late. So he was coming sometimes here and there, sometimes. So Yajnavalkya used to wait up to the time Janaka Maharaj comes. Janaka, not Maharaj by that time, he was just small boy. Up to the time Janaka comes, he was waiting. Once he waits, once he comes, then he starts giving class. So other Brahmana boys, they felt kind of, they were arguing, they were discussing themselves after the class. Arey, our Yajnavalkya is too much, so much bothered about thinking about this guy, Janaka, that he waits up to the time Janaka comes, then only he will give classes. He's too much attached to the remuneration he gets from the king. Because he's a son of king, right? He's thinking about the remuneration, money, what they get, gifts, Rajanidhi. That's why he's too much attached to them, attached to him. He's being partial, very partial to all of us. So Yajnavalkya, somehow or other, he got to know that this is a discussion going on in between the Brahmanas, the Brahmana boys. So one day, he wanted to give them this understanding that Janaka is very special boy. So by his mystic powers, he started a fire. He gave a fire in the ashram, Brahmachari ashram. All these Brahmanas boys, they were staying in ashram. So he gave a fire in that. So they were all sitting in the class. Everybody ran away from the class. All the boys, some boys, my dhoti is getting burnt, my kopin is getting burnt, my kurta is getting burnt. Oh, my ashram, my things are getting burnt here. So they ran to the classrooms, their living rooms, their ashram facilities. So they went and tried saving their kopins, cloths, dhoti, uttari, kapada, After some time, they all came back and Yajnavalkya, he asked Janaka, why you have not gone? There is a whole burning, fire in the kingdom. Why you are not gone and saved? So here Janaka responds in front of all these Brahmana boys. Janaka boy, he says, I am not this body, I am soul. When I am not this body, this kingdom is also not mine. Instead of saving the body, instead of saving this kingdom can be reconstructed again. Body, we can get a new body again. But once we lose these spiritual lessons, then there is no hope. We should get saved from this burning sensation of the soul. The soul is suffering in the real fire of existence in this material world. We should save that soul first. That is understanding of Janaka. Hearing that, all the Brahmana boys got surprised and shocked. That is a self-realized person. Janaka was so much self-realized person. So, when we understand the simple, okay, we may not be on that platform, but at least we should understand this simple fact and we should learn to tolerate these miseries, sukha and dukkha of this life. That such person can become dhira, tolerant. Yes. So if you see another example, Narada Muni, he just performed tapasya following the instructions of Bhakti Vedantas. He served them. He just performed tapasya and he got transformed from same body, he became a spiritualized body. Same body, he got a spiritual body. Once we get a spiritual body like Narada Muni, there won't be any change of the bodies. Up to then, we will be keep changing our bodies. Hare Krishna. So this is the how to become Dhira. This is the benefit of understanding this simple fact. We are not the body, we are soul. And when we know this, then we can become Dhira. That is the benefit. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So any questions, comments we can take, devotee.